Two. And this is Jay Taft here with you with your weekly sports podcast, Not Just a Game. And we have our Rockford's own Dean Lowry, the Green Bay Packers defensive lineman, with us this week. And it's a little bit of a special week. We've got a whole lot I want to catch up with you, Dean, on. But I mentioned it's an interesting week because it looks like we may have a Rockford guy tackling another Rockford guy in an NFL football game this weekend. So let's start with that. First of all, Dean, how you doing? Good to have you. Thanks for joining me.
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
And give me your take. What is it going to be like? I don't know how familiar you are with James Robinson and the Jaguars. I'm assuming you guys have talked a lot about it this week. But what's your take? Do you just kind of picture him as any other NFL running back out there that you're trying to stop, or is it different?
Well, first off, on film, I've been very impressed with how he's playing. He's very elusive. He's quick. He has great vision. And, I followed his journey since he was at Lutheran and to Illinois State. So to compete against him, I think is pretty cool. But, yeah, I think we'll talk mostly after the game. I'm sure, for those four quarters, we'll be competing, at Lambeau on Sunday. But after the game, I'm sure we'll catch up and just kind of talk about, common connections and Rockford. So, but it's really exciting to have, two 815 Rockford guys playing in the game, NFL game on Sunday.
You bet. Now you're a little bit older than him, so you never would have faced him in anything, right?
No,
This will be the first time.
Yep, first time. Yeah.
All right. I'm assuming you've seen him on film. He's had a pretty good start to his NFL career. What's going to be the whole trick to getting him down this weekend?
We'll see. I think just, studying their offense and getting a good feel for what they do. For him starting as a rookie in the NFL is no easy feat. That shows that he has, high football intelligence and overall character, especially being someone that went under the radar, coming out of college. So, definitely a lot of respect for him on our side of the football.
How are you guys looking at this game this week? You're coming off a good stretch, but you've had some ups and downs this season. How are you looking at this week's game?
Well, I think last week was really great effort overall by our defense, stopping the run, getting a great pass rush and, just locked down in the secondary. So if we can keep that mentality, keep that play style, going forward, that's going to be, a big part of our team going forward. So just continuing that. And then, we got some big games coming up. So starts here Sunday.
Let's stick with that. This is your fifth year now, right? Fifth year with the Packers, fifth year in the NFL. You've really locked in on when you look at your snap counts and how many plays that you're in there now, is this the most you've played in your career? I mean, you've always been in a little bit of a rotation. This year, it seems like you're out there a lot.
It's been pretty equal between these last 3 years. I think we are rotating still a lot because we got some young guys that are playing well. So we have a lot of good depth this year. So the nice thing is that if I go in and start the game and somebody comes in for me, there's not really a drop off right now. So I think that's a big part of playing good team defense is having depth. And I think we're there right now.
Break down your game real quick. How are you better now in your fifth season in the NFL?
Yeah, I think just, taking, the amount of reps over the past number of years, you see all different types of, personnel and scheme, and that adds up over the course of, 3 to 4 to 5 years. So just the mental part of it, but also the physical too. I think I've tried to get stronger and faster each off season. So just all of that, I think, culminates to, where I want to be.
And I keep saying fifth year.
Yeah.
That's almost like an old man in the NFL. You're like a veteran.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is. I think right now, me and Kenny Clark are the two oldest guys in our defense that have been here since the past 5 years. We got some guys that we signed in free agency, but, only I think him and I stand from the team when we first got here.
And I didn't mean to use the words old man.
No, it's fine.
I'm the only one that can wear those words in this interview. But you've been around, and your role changes no matter what level you're at, the longer you're there. How is your role, not just your role on the field, maybe I'm looking more at the leadership aspect and in the locker room, off the field, how has things changed for you? Are you a little bit more responsible for what's going on? I don't
Yeah, I would say I lead more by example. Also I'll let the younger guys know sort of different things I'm seeing. If I go in there in a certain play and I get a tip or just have a good feel for a play, I'll come back to the sideline and kind of relay that and just sort of those things. Just taking ownership and even just being a leader on the defensive front of a guy who's been here, been through the battle of a 16-game season and. I think that's important to have those guys in the defense.
What about in your mind? Do you look at things differently now that you're in your fifth year? Do you have different goals? Do you go after things a little bit differently as time goes by?
I would say that you really appreciate the good seasons you have, especially individually and as a team. So last year, we fell one game short of our goal to reach the Super Bowl. But I think we're motivated, more than ever. So it makes you appreciate the good teams you've been on because we've also had a couple of down years here in Green Bay the past 5 years. So really, this year we know we have a really good team and an opportunity to go a long way. So it makes you really kind of appreciate where we are and where we could go.
And it makes every week a big game. And you guys at that level, every week is a huge, the biggest game of the season anyways. But with the situation and with this year that we're dealing with, talk a little bit about that real quick. How tough or strange or different has this season been with the COVID rules and with no to limited fans at each game? How are you going to look back on this season in 10 or 20 years? What are you going to think about?
It's been very different. Even on game day, driving to Lambeau, usually there's tailgates everywhere and there's people, all throughout the stadium, and now it's pretty much empty. So just kind of getting used to that has been sort of an adjustment. But once the ball is snapped, you're pretty much locked in. There's not much of a change in sort of how people are playing or just the overall atmosphere of the game. But certainly not having our fans, I think loses a little bit of an edge of the home field advantage. But we'll look back and I think we'll appreciate sort of just what, how we've made smart choices off the field. I think guys have really done a good job of just being good teammates and knowing that, if one guy ends up testing positive, it could mean 4 or 5 others. So just keeping that in mind and being a good teammate.
It's just an eerie season with the way things are with the no fans and with how careful you have to be with everything. And it's just, it's just a lot to deal with. Is it a lot to deal with you guys, or has it gotten to be just the way it is now, or?
We're pretty much used to it. Every day we get tested. There's a trailer outside our locker room, and we'll get tested and get the swab done. We wear a mask at all times in the facility, and so I guess we're getting used to it. I mean, I know it's still a sacrifice to play this game, but we're very appreciative of what we're doing and playing this game of football at a high level.
Now, I know there's no fans at Lambeau, right?
Right. Yep.
Right. So does that mean, because some organizations will allow your family of the players and coaches, is there none of that at all?
Yeah, this year there were fans down in Tampa, so my parents actually went down to that game and saw that. So that was cool to have them go down there and see that. There were fans at New Orleans, I want to say, and I think a few fans in Houston. So in some of those stadiums, they do have that, and they're not that loud because of it's still quarter capacity, but to have that was, I think, still a cool atmosphere.
But this week we're not going to have the Lowry clan here and the Robinson clan over here.
Yeah, not this week. They'll be watching on TV. I'm sure I'll give them a call after the game. But that's the one downside of this is not having your family and friends come to the game. But it's it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, last little bit about this weekend. How do you, obviously you're not going to break down your game plan and talk to me about X's and O's and strategies and so forth. But what is this Sunday when you're looking at their run game and your defense and you're looking at the matchups? How does this one fare out, or how does this one kind of maneuver itself?
It's going to be a good game. We think a 4-quarter battle. They definitely have a really good run game, obviously with James in the backfield, and they have a, experienced offensive line, a really good center, good guards, and two very talented tackles as well. So it's going to be a challenge for us like any week, but these guys are very strong up front.
Yeah, you bet. You still got some guys back from Rockford that you talk to or text with, or
Yeah, I got some buddies from Boylan I still stay in touch with, and we'll get together in the off season and have a good time. So it's Rockford's has always been a special place to me.
Well, you're their guy now, man.
Yeah.
A lot of fans in the Rockford zone.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very proud community.
It is. It is. It's going to be a fun one this weekend, too, because I know James Robinson's got some fans there as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we'll all be watching, and I think we're going to be watching for the first Rockford guy to tackle another Rockford guy in an NFL.
Hey, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Maybe it'll happen like 10 or 11 times, right?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Good luck, Dean. Thank you so much
for
joining me. I really appreciate it. Let's do it again soon, okay?
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.